Hey, we are live, hopefully everywhere.
Well, good evening, sir. Yes, we're certainly live on my YouTube and on your Rumble. So those two are working.
So the usual suspects. It looks like your Rumble is up too, and the only one that doesn't seem to want to be working is my YouTube so far. So
Is your auto start on?
yes, and I'm the one linked to it, so I don't know.
So yeah, and I mean you're on this other kick thing. I don't know what that is, but whatever kick is.
Yeah, it's like Twitch. It's just a thing.
I think I may
But
even have us
they
on
do a
Twitter.
95-5 split on money on Kick, so I figured, that sounds nice.
Yeah, so you'll get 95 cents a month.
If that, if I'm lucky. Actually, what it did was it just went live instead of connecting to the pre-scheduled stream that I had. So that's where the issue is.
I see. Subtle difference. Well,
yes.
Never mind. It gives our wonderful audience time to chat, to catch up. And I can certainly see Mike DiCarlo in there. So good evening, Mike. And I thought I'd reply to him, but I have replied, yes. So anyway, how are you, sir? There was no hockey tonight, so it was a quiet night.
I'm doing just fine. I was in a bad mood earlier, but then something happened, and we finally decided to start playing. So
yeah, well, you did pick a good day for it because you picked one of the most hapless bunch of losers, softest players in the league, who can lose 6 goals in a row unanswered after being in a commanding 3-0 lead. Stars sucked. The Avs just went, screw this, we're going to dominate you now. And I think you just gave us a 3-goal start just to taunt us.
Just to make you feel good.
Yeah, and the fact that all these ex-Stars players, they were even calling it the ex-Stars line.
Yeah.
Were there and scored against us. It's just,
well,
it was
that,
written.
And of course, also Nichushkin is, also over there with us now.
Indeed, Nichushkin, Cogliano, Kiviranta, Joel fucking Kiviranta.
Yep.
We sucked ass. Every single player disappeared after your first goal was scored, and it must be my fault because I turned to my wife after we failed to score in a 5-on-3 for a minute and said, we're going to lose this game. And she said, oh, don't be so how can we lose? Don't be such a doomer. 6 goals later, I was right.
Yeah. I feel for you on that one.
Shit happens.
But you guys still have the division lead by a point, and we're tied in games played now. So
yeah, we had won 4 games in a row, but we've lost every game against what would be considered actual challengers.
Playoff
we've lost to Boston, we've lost to Vegas, we've lost to you guys, we've even lost to Toronto. God help us. Does it mean anything? I don't know. We seem to be able to beat
early in the season.
No, we're beating the trash teams, but we're made to look like trash by the really good teams. So we're desperately in need of a better defense. I'll put it that way.
We've had our issues over the past couple weeks too. So, I mean, we've come back strong from 2 really bad games and 3 really bad road games before that. So, plenty of time to right the ship for either team.
Yeah. Well, we were just feeling so good about 4-game winning streak, 3 games on the road, beating the Wild 8-3, which is always fun.
Yep.
And I thought, no one's really pressed us other than the top challengers we've played. So, but anyway, what can I say? It was what it was. I could see the train. I could see the train coming.
It was coming around the bend. And the train was Nichuchu.
Exactly, Nichuchu. He loves scoring against us. Some of our players are like Jason Robertson is invisible right now. The only time you notice him is when he when he screws up. Oh dear. Never mind.
Well, Ottinger looked good through a period and a half, and then he kind of got hung out to dry.
He did, and then although I think he could have done better on a couple of these things, but he did get hung out to dry. And then we made the most stupid challenge.
Yeah, I'm not
In the
sure
first
what the point of that one was.
complete waste, utter waste of time. Given it was only one goal, and instead of just taking the hit and taking the loss of the goal and moving on, you immediately handicap yourself. So waste of time. Yeah. What can I say? The Avs were gritty. You were gritty.
Well, I was pretty happy that against the top team in the division, we didn't get down on ourselves after going down 3-0,
Yes.
and they still had the fight in them. And really, the backbreaker was 11 seconds of the game. We went up 4-3 and 5-3 in 11 seconds.
I know.
So, I mean, that's going to crush any team's hopes of getting back into it
At that point, I headed for the Cotton Council on Snowdub's channel, got my puppet out, and said, "Screw this game.
This one's done."
Yeah. Hey, but
so how about the other part of the show? Are you partaking tonight?
Well, funnily enough, I am, but not bourbon or whiskey.
No,
I'm actually drinking some wine tonight, which is I only have wine once every 3 or 4 years these days, if that. I had to stop drinking. I loved red wine. Had to stop drinking it for. Let's be honest. It was the old man's disease, gout. So,
really?
Yeah. So I used to get sore throat a lot, and turned out it was gout, and I drank a lot of red wine, so I had to stop. But I got a bottle of wine this week when my wife and I were staying in the city for a night, and I had half of that bottle then, and I'm going to have the rest of it now. It's a Malbec. I was a big Malbec fan, Argentina. This is an Alamos, which was really nice and a reasonable price as well. So that's very tonight. Cool. Well, and if I run out of that, I do have some soju.
Yeah.
Korean.
Do those mix well?
No, especially when they come back up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about? I heard you had a pretty good day on the booze front, though.
Yeah, I actually missed the first period, almost period and a half. Basically the scoring started when I got home from the liquor store, but they were doing their special vault night, and I was one of the frequent shoppers who got invited. So, here's what I have picked up today. I got one Sazerac Rye, brand new. I got another bottle of E.H. Taylor, the small batch.
Mm-hmm.
I got another bottle of Eagle Rare.
Holy shit.
I got a 10-year Henry McKenna bottled in bond.
Mm-hmm.
Bond. I've had my first Henry McKenna bottled in bond I've had for almost 2 years, and it's had one drink left in it. So now I'm allowed to have that drink.
You could drink that whole bottle tonight then.
Yes. And then I got an Early Times, which is just a cheapie to kind of just have to drink, and a 1792 small batch. So it was a pretty good day of bourbon hunting.
Very good.
That's like 2 straight weeks of good days of bourbon hunting. So, yeah, what I'm starting with tonight, though, is the Sazerac Rye, because I've got a little bit of that left from the other bottle that I had. So
nice. Good haul. Very good haul.
Yes.
So cheers.
Cheers indeed.
I love red wine.
I've actually got a bottle of red wine back here too. It's just the Kirkland, Costco Kirkland brand Cabernet.
That, mate. I was never a
$10 bottle.
Yeah, I would never drink a lot of fancy stuff, but I would say it was my main drink for a long time. I mean, I could drink a whole bottle easily. I was drinking a bottle a night when I was drinking at the weekend or whatever, and mainly Cabernet Sauvignons were big, and then I discovered Malbecs, and I started drinking a lot of those. So, but I miss it. I
used to drink a lot of wine, but it would stain your teeth real bad if you tried to go through a full bottle of red in a night. So
hey, well, I'm British, so dentistry doesn't really matter to us.
That's true. That's how you get the gout.
That's how you get the gout. Yeah,
don't take care of your teeth.
I mean, that's the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. I think the gout.
Yeah,
because
I've got a buddy that gets it every time he drinks cheap bourbon. I mean, it's only the cheap stuff manages to hurt him. So that could also be the story that he's telling me to get into my $70 and $80 bottles.
Well, exactly. Sounds a bit suspect to me. Even and me think he doth protest too much.
Exactly.
It's the weirdest thing though, because I used to get these really. Sorry, I put that in studio mode because I couldn't see myself. I used to get these. No, put it back. It's okay. These really. This is behind the scenes stuff. Everybody, you can't see what's good.
We've got multiple views.
We're fighting over the screen. I used to get really every so often a really sore foot right under the joint at the back of the big toe, just on one side, and it was crippling me. I don't remember dropping anything on it or whatever. And I went to the doctor. He said, "Oh, you've got gout." I went, "But isn't that what old people get?" He said. And your point,
it's not necessarily old people; it's people who indulge in the finer things in life.
Indeed, yes, too much, possibly.
Because royalty used to get it all the time because they would eat, very very high value foods.
Well, that's right. Royalty, aristocracy. Like if you read about all the middle-aged kings and nobles of the Middle Ages, they were all suffering from that because they were the ones that were eating. The peasants, they didn't get it.
No, they were fine.
Because when you're eating, handfuls of hot gravel to survive, you didn't.
Gravel broth.
That's right.
Now we've had a few more people come in.
How's the gravel broth today? How's that gravel broth tonight? I don't know. Have you licked the lake clean yet? Licked road clean with tongue. So I got cutting out the red wine stopped it, but every so often I just feel I have to. Every few years I feel I got to have another one.
Well, having just a little probably isn't going to make it flare up. So
one bottle every 3 or 4 years isn't going to.
Oh yeah. So we have a few more people drop in. Zax is over in your Rumble chat, it looks like.
Right.
We've got, of course, Smokey's over in mine. Little Chad, Awesome One, and Godzillionaire are hanging out on one of the YouTube channels.
I think.
And Peter Brophy.
I think Zax is in your Rumble or my Rumble? Because Smokey's in my Rumble.
Is Smokey in your Rumble? Okay.
Yeah. I can't.
Then Zax is in my Rumble.
Zax is in your Rumble.
I don't know. I've got so many windows open right now. It's ridiculous.
Hail Zax anyway, and hail Smokey, and yeah, he's in yours. I got too many windows open. Where the hell we are?
I've got 5 chats open trying to combine them onto the screen, but all the chats get displayed down below.
They do.
From all 5 streams.
So we got Mike DiCarlo, Peter Brophy from Oz. G'day, Peter.
Yeah.
G'day, Bruce. Is it? I'll start with my Monty Python Australian now. I should refrain from that. Joe Dog. Hello, Joe Dog. Good to see you. Excuse me. And obviously Mike DiCarlo. Snowdub was here earlier. Quiet
that
night.
Was an early raid.
It was, because he's finishing his show earlier now. So before people used to get passed over, now it's a little less. But anyway.
And we might as well tell people what our plan is. Since Snowdub is going earlier, that means you get off of that show a little bit earlier. So we are going to move the show up to instead of 10 o'clock Mountain, looking at 9:15 Mountain, and kind of just ending as Snowdub ends. And lead in that way. That way, for the East Coasters, it's not as late, and for us, it's not as well. For everybody, it's not as late.
A little bit of a break.
We're not hanging out till midnight our time, and
starting
2 o'clock East Coast.
Yeah, it's too late for those East Coast wimps.
Yeah, actually, most of them I think have been from the East Coast. So,
so Peter, interesting. So he buys the basic Irish whiskies like Jameson. Nothing wrong with Jameson. Put them in small oak spirit barrels and wait. It's amazing what wood does over the time. And been doing this for 20 years. I never thought of doing that. Doing your own oak cask.
Yeah, there's there's ones that you can order online. Even around here, Kohl's has them as like in their novelty area, and it's just a barrel about this big, holds 1 bottle, and you let it age up for 30 to 60 days, and it takes on a full oaky flavor. Actually, sometimes it's overpowering oaky flavor because it's so directly getting the infusion there. But it doesn't take long to age up a a whiskey or a
Yeah, I
bourbon
never
in
thought
one of
about
those little wooden barrels.
never thought of doing it myself, mainly because I used to work in the industry and I was more interested in millions of barrels, not just one little
Yeah,
one. Anyway, good job, Peter. Yeah. Yeah, oh, you bought the barrels. Yeah. Well, that's yeah. We used to when I worked in the business. Sometimes we sold them off. Indeed.
actually,
Um,
I've got one sitting right next to me. I've got a
well, I
full size
noticed that
barrel right
before.
next to me, and yeah, it's a Buffalo Trace barrel. It's one of the ones from the Buffalo Trace distillery that once held that glorious
Very
nectar.
good. Have you ever been in any of these bonded warehouses before?
Nope, have not had a
Oh.
chance to go visit any distilleries yet.
Um, well, sometimes the bonded warehouses are on site with the distilleries. Sometimes they're separate. I've been in a few
Yeah,
because, as I say, I used to work in the business, and it's incredible. I was in one that had. Well, they told me how many barrels it was. It was over 1 million in this one
yeah.
particular bonded where it was a set of warehouses next to each other, but
Looked like the
one
warehouse at the
site.
end of Indiana Jones.
It
Just
was like that. It was
rows.
incredible. But the most, and they're like way up to the
Yeah,
roof, like 50 feet up, whatever, stacked up. The thing that was about it was the smell. It was
yeah.
incredible, overpowering. Just
Of
from the
ethanol or of the wood?
no the ethanol. So
Ethanol.
yeah, I mean the combined effect of evaporation from all of these barrels, small as it may be, but if you got like hundreds of thousands of them, it was
Right.
like walking into a wall of alcohol. I was thinking, do you
The
need a mask in here? You need a
angel's
mask.
portion hitting you in the face, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. It was quite an incredible day that when I went to that particular warehouse. I've been in a few, but that was the biggest one.
Cool.
It
Yeah,
is fun. It's a great business to be in, but
I've got to go run the Bourbon Trail at some point and just hit up all the distilleries. I mean, my dad's whole side of the family is back in Kentucky and Indiana, so I can hit all the MGP stuff and I can hit all of the Kentucky distilleries next time I go back. But yeah, I don't visit that side of the family very often. I haven't been back to Kentucky in probably
yeah.
15, 20 years. So
Well, it sounds like you need an excuse to go.
yeah, but that would be not going to see family. That would be going to see alcohol. I
Well,
don't
you
think
don't.
they would take it well if they found out I was in the state and just visited
You don't
distilleries the whole
need.
time.
Well, nobody would tell them.
Oh, my wife and her Facebook would tell them in a matter of
Right.
seconds.
Oh, this of course was whiskey distilleries. I've been whiskey bonded warehouses, but I have been to the George Dickel. It's the only
Oh yeah,
Kentucky one I've been to is George Dickel. It was very nice. It was owned by the company I worked for at the time, so it was kind of a what they used to call a busman's holiday.
hate
So
to tell you this, I hate Dickel more than any other
yeah,
distillery.
I only went because we owned it. I was on holiday,
Yeah.
but I thought I'll go and visit them. They were very nice to me.
In fact, I don't even have a bottle of Dickel right now. I mean,
You don't like the George? Oh dear.
no, don't like the Dickel.
Don't like. I've heard that unlike culture, he's partial to the Dickel, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Oh my
No,
God, the Dickel.
Dickel and Willet are the two that I just cannot stand.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them.
Is it just because you think they're a little on the rough side, or?
It's just the taste profile. Both of them to
Yeah.
me taste like if you just, if you're at like a steakhouse that has the peanuts all over the place and everybody just throws the shells on the ground, like the whiskey or the bourbon tastes like they just took all those shells, ground them up, and put them into a liquid, and then called
Okay.
it good. And
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
maybe it's
Sassy's
just too earthy. I don't know.
Yeah, Sassy's joined us on your Rumble. I noticed. So, hello,
Ah,
Sassy.
hello, Sassy.
So, what's been going on? What should we talk about hockey wise? Should we talk about the arrest? Or are we going to stay away from that?
Lucic?
No, not Lucic.
No.
I mean the UK thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, until something else comes out, I'm kind of sticking to what I think, and other people are sticking to what they think. I just an arrest does not necessarily mean, you know, um, that there's a conviction. I mean,
No,
you're
of course
still
not.
innocent until proven guilty. So, I mean, what we can say is that he has been arrested. I don't even know what the exact charge was. Was it
a man
just
has been arrested?
Involuntary? Yes.
Yes. Although
maybe
it's
it was
a pretty short suspect
maybe it
list.
was the Zamboni driver. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's utter tragedy, but well, it could be the Zamboni driver. It's maybe but yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. It was a criminal investigation, so
and they could have just been bringing him in to question him.
No, it's been an actual arrest, and he has been
Did they
released
actually
on bail.
announce charges?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, manslaughter.
Okay.
WG seemed to think that's what should happen when we were on the stream that night. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, it's still a tragedy either way. It's a tragedy for multiple people, but
yes.
The more I've looked at it, and I've not spent too much time looking at it because it's horrible, it does seem an awful unlikely set of occurrences for it not to have been a deliberate, not to kill him, I mean, but deliberate to at least hit him with the skate. So
it could be.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to rule on this because,
well,
intent is hard to, although some statements may have been made by the player. So
that's kind of the thing, though, is when you're in a country playing a sport and suddenly you can be arrested for something that happened on the ice, even if it was an intentional kick out of the leg, it's an unintentional, killing, obviously. But I mean, do you trust that something isn't going to come back and bite you as a player that happens on the ice? A boarding call suddenly has you being arrested, or, I mean, the Bertuzzi Steve Moore incident was premeditated. There was a bounty out, and he hit him in the back of the neck and then went down on him. A boarding thing happens at full speed. This happened at full speed. I mean, it's hard to prove intent to kill, or intent to even injure necessarily.
There's a suggestion that statements may have been made by the individual in question that would not help his case.
Yeah,
that's just a rumor. So I guess you'll have to wait for the court proceedings.
Yeah.
But yeah, your other one you were talking about was Milan Lucic, who was being arrested for being ugly, I believe. He's being charged with being hideously ugly.
No, am I thinking of the right story? Lucic,
he's
was he the one with the domestic disturbance and is taking time away from the team?
Yeah, he's obviously been taking time away from the beauty stick for many years. He should have really been arrested for being hideously ugly years ago, but they let him off with it, and this is what happens.
Like Ricci.
Yeah, exactly. But alleged domestic incident. Hey, Jim, see, maybe he got drunk with Jim Montgomery. This is the problem. And something was said. I don't know.
Could be.
But yeah, they've had a few issues in Boston there, when you consider McAvoy getting banned for a few games. And
yep.
Yeah. However, I mean, I don't know how well he was playing. He must have been playing okay. I mean, Boston are playing well, so.
Boston's, they're doing well again this season.
We should probably take a look at the standings. I think there's still one game on.
Yeah,
at least of the second, and it's to make up for at least. I mean, the Stars were shit tonight, but at least the Blues are getting hammered. So there's always a silver lining.
Well, it's a silver lining, but it's also some rain clouds for you, because I've got the goalie going against the Blues, and that would be another win, which would give me one more point over you.
Shutout. I did get a shutout.
Oh, the shutout would help too.
I got a shutout with Aidan Hill the other day, but
nice.
So I've got 2 LA players in my other fantasy team, and yet the lazy bastards have only managed to get 1 assist between them, given there's 5 bloody goals in that game for LA. So what the hell are they doing? So
are you bringing up the standings, or
I can if you wish. Do you want me to do all the work?
I did it the last 2 weeks. I'll let you do 1 week.
Let me remove that.
Plus, you've already got them. You've already got them bookmarked. So
you're just trying. Well, yeah, you're just trying to figure out if I know how to use this damn software.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that the training is taking.
It's not taking. Trust me, I can assure you, it's not taking. Right, hang on.
And Chad says, little Chad says he's on the same page as me. The president would open the door for any goon who hits a goal scorer too hard being arrested if they got injured.
That's true.
Leads to possible situations that you don't want in sports. Of course, you don't want this situation either, but
no,
you don't want your sports being regulated by, the police.
On the other hand, that doesn't give players license to do whatever they want, because they still live in a society with the same laws as everybody else. Just because you're playing a sport, you don't get a pass.
Correct.
So
yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those that's hard. I mean, it's a gray area. I mean,
yeah, it just so happened
the
that
players have always policed themselves, but how do you police yourselves when there's a death involved?
Just so happens
it's different than having a blown out knee.
Yeah, it was the worst possible outcome in this instance.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, the Bruins have only played 4 games according to this list.
Yeah, you're still on the wrong day. Scroll back up and go to get off. You've got to either change your bookmark or remember that you've got it bookmarked back on the 21st of October every week.
Standings. I just didn't click the current standings. There we go. So, still a pretty impressive haul for Boston.
Yep.
All going to be wasted when they go to the playoffs in the first round again, but yeah, 28 points and a plus 24 goal differential. Not too shabby.
They've at least lost a couple now. Overtime points and a loss. So.
True. God, the nightmare. Florida Panthers have picked up a bit though, and Sam Reinhart, who's in one of my fantasy teams, I'm not sure if he's maybe in the Bourbon boarding one as well, but he's certainly in my other one. He's on fire right now. So Reinhart's
he's sitting right there. Well, the Panthers are sitting right there with you guys. Same exact record.
Yeah, looking pretty damn good.
Until tonight.
Yeah, until tonight. But they're looking pretty damn good. Leafs are still clinging on in third. The rest.
Yeah. Well, they may be getting an infusion from Calgary from the rumors.
Like Zadorov,
a couple players from Calgary are wanting out.
Well, Zadorov, there's rumors about a number of teams that might be interested in him, including Dallas, in fact. So,
yeah,
and that wouldn't be such a bad pickup for us because we've got several black holes in our defense. Not naming anyone, Suter. But yeah, poor old Sabres still anchored to the bottom. Canadians not doing that well either. Rangers are still... Oh, the Caps have made a bit of a resurgence, though, winning 4 in a row.
Yep.
Because they were toiling.
Getting their goal differential back into the good instead of staying extremely negative.
Yep. So Rangers, Caps. Will the Caps sustain it? Not so sure, but... nothing...
I've got to fix the chat.
You do. We're still clinging on to first in the Central. Jets are still hanging in there too. They've won 3 in a row. I didn't realise that. They've won 3 as well. Coyotes, we actually had a great game against them. They were looking pretty good. Klingberg is a bust. I could have told you that. Now, much as I love the man, he's a lovely guy. I could have told you Klingberg was not going to work out for you. Sorry about that. Blackhawks. Oh, I've got a Blackhawks goal, and it isn't Connor Bedard. We're going to play later.
Good, because I don't care about Bedard's goals.
There's another guy. I've got a goal from another one of their players that I have a fond spot for. And the Knights.
And the surprising Vancouver Canucks.
I know.
Who did fall to Calgary yesterday. But they've been surprising. But there's just no way they stay on this tear. I mean, their scoring chance, high value scoring chances. I mean, it's like 30 to 60. The other team's getting 60% more dangerous scoring chances than they are, but they're scoring on like 18% of their high danger scoring chances and somehow keeping it out on the other guys. So it's just going to be, they're going to come back to earth at some point.
I think so.
That's an amazing start for them.
It's pretty good, and I think it bolsters their chances of making the playoffs this year. I still think they're going to fall back a bit, yeah. Although, looking at their divisionally, it's not like there's a lot of teams on fire there. So,
no, I think those top three will stay the top three for probably the year. I mean, of course, Edmonton should be doing better, but I don't know if they've dug themselves too big of a hole to get there. So
they did manage to pick up a few wins there. I watched their game against I think it was Anaheim.
I'm still not starting their players.
No. Well, hey, the year I get McDavid in a draft, a fantasy draft, is there he turns to shit. But they've lost again the last game, so the kind of little streak they had is over. The Sharks have won 3 though. Go Sharks! I'm fully on board with Sharks. Go Sharks!
Yep,
a lot of sympathy for those guys. Go for it. Hail to your Muslim uncle and to Snowdub. Good to see you guys.
I think your Muslim uncle is a Sharks fan, is he not?
Yeah, well, I'm with you, buddy. Go Sharks. Big soft spot for the Sharks. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't have any real connection with them. I've been to San Jose once.
Yeah.
Once. I didn't go to a game, but I wish I had. A friend of mine went, and he got on TV because he was the only Ottawa Senators fan. It was against the Sens, and he had an Ottawa Senators jersey on. We were there on a business trip. I didn't go for some reason.
They focused on him every now and then.
Yeah, so he was on TV all night, and they won. And I think the Sens won. So that was funny. So the Bruins and the Knights, same points. Yeah.
Yep.
Although Vegas played 2 more games.
Yeah, not really a surprise. I mean, we expected Boston just because they went out early last year. Doesn't mean they weren't going to come back strong. They did lose quite a few players, but I mean, when you're playing that well as a unit, I mean, you're going to be putting up the goals, and you're going to be getting some points. Vegas, defending Stanley Cup champions, no surprise there. Rangers looking good. Little Chad says he's worried about their 37-year-old goaltender, but so far plus 18 differential, can't complain.
So far, so
and the
good.
The Canucks are just like I said, they're outplaying what they should be.
And every year there's always
overachieving.
There's one team like that every year, and it may be them. Can they sustain it? I don't know what the depth is like. I haven't paid much attention to their overall squad, so. We'll see.
Well, they're just getting every bounce going for them, and no bounce is going for the team that they're playing that night.
Lucky bastards.
They are playing good hockey, but they're getting very lucky on defensive errors that don't turn into goals, where any other game, they're going to be a goal against you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, well, that doesn't go on forever.
No. Then we got your Stars. 23 points.
Well, they got exposed tonight. But, they do have a record of bouncing back when these things happen, so we'll see. But our next game is against the Rangers. Game after that is against the Knights, I think.
So, rough schedule.
Or against Boston or the Knights. We've got 2 of the next 3 games against top teams, so we'll see. But yeah, the top 10 is. The Caps are in the top 10 league-wise, so it's the only one that's really pushed their way up a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. We've got Nashville on Monday, the Canucks on Wednesday. So, I mean, maybe we'll be a good test for the Canucks. They'll at least be a good test for us, maybe.
Interesting game, yeah, for sure.
And then we've got the Wild Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, you'll slaughter them. They're terrible. We beat them 8-3, and we're not good.
We hope so, but we also managed to lose to the Blues. So
the Stars actually equaled the franchise record of 5 power play goals in that game. And
ouch.
They really should have got a 6th. It was that close.
Yeah. Like it expired right as they shot it.
They were just like, not quite. Well, no, it was like a shooting gallery.
Oh.
The Wild are awful.
Well, good.
Which is great.
I'm fine with the Wild being awful.
Oh, God,
year.
yeah. So shall we take a look at the fantasy league?
Absolutely.
So let me look at the this view of the standings. It may be difficult to see. Let's see if I can. So
you're everything it needs to show.
You're now back on top. You had a 4-point change today.
I started 1 point behind you today, and now I'm 5 points ahead of you.
6-point swap because I've dropped 2, possibly because of Ottinger.
And Bell, you are actually starting your players, right?
I hope Bell is paying attention to her team. Yes.
Because let's scroll down and see how many games played she has.
Hang on. Let's look at Bell's team.
Yeah, she had players going tonight.
She did.
25 shots on goal combined for her team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Let's see. We go back, as you say, let's go back.
Just make sure she's keeping pace with games played. If you scroll down, she's got 185.
Yeah,
you've got 191. So
I'm looking at mine every day.
She's not too far back.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but that's only 6 games difference. That's 6 players in a lineup versus not.
I always make sure the full roster is playing if possible. Because whoever I leave
do,
on the
unless
bench,
I want somebody to sit because of the matchup. Because right now I'm going to be over on my centers.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. But anyway, you've had a good day. Mikey D is third. He's a little bit further back from me. You've got you're 5 points ahead of me now.
But that's all today.
That's all today, yeah.
That's just all today.
Come on, Bell.
Digital Remnant has come into the chat, said he did some bourbon hunting today, tried out new stuff, Baker's 1792 store pick, and his first peated single malt from a Texas distillery.
Oh, that would be
very
nice.
Cool. And Andy Masterson is hanging out in the chat too. Good to see you, Andy.
So what was the peated Texas malt? I wonder. Tell us the brand, because I want to check that out. I'm just checking out.
Sounds like something Balcones would do.
So Mike is complaining about his goalies. He's got Shesterkin, who got a win today, and he's got Lindgren, who got a win today. Or was that today? Yeah.
Should be today.
So what are you complaining about, Mike?
The rest of the days.
Anyway, it's been interesting to do this rotisserie thing because, unlike the head-to-head, I just found that just every day there's just little changes.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. And I think next year, if we get enough sign-ups, we could do head-to-head. But
if we continue to do the rotisserie, but actually have to pick players that aren't the top 60 players and have 10 or 15 or 10 to 12 teams in it, then this becomes a lot tighter, because you don't just have, like, if you look at my team and the current rankings for the players, not the preseason rankings, I've got like 4 or 5 players that are in like the top 15, something like that.
Well,
I've got the number 9 player, the number 17 player, the number 4, the number 5, the number 21, the number 31 ranked player at the moment. So, that becomes a stacked team. They weren't there at the beginning of the season, but they've gotten to that spot during the season. So.
Yeah, you got 3, 18.
Yeah, 22,
pretty well.
26.
Well, look at this. Marchand, Pasternak, Rantanen. You lucky bastard.
A lot of those have been pickups, though. Some people have been dropping players, and even if they may have been in a slump, I'm grabbing them because I know that they're going to come out of a slump at some point.
I've tweaked a few. I have, of course, had the number 1 pick, Connor McDavid, who's currently 59th.
Yep.
But Panarin, I like Panarin. He's not, but yeah, look at this. He's a -2 as well. He's killing me.
Yeah,
I'll swap
but
him. Anybody want him?
He's hitting. He's keeping you up there on the hits.
He's hitting, yeah. Is he hitting as much as my sweet prince Radko Gudas? No,
not quite. But Radko's also a +7, and McDavid's a -2.
Hey, the funny thing was the other day I was wanting Gudas to get a bunch of hits. I can't remember the game it was. I'm going, I need some hits. The bugger scores. He doesn't get many goals, so I don't want you to score. I want hits.
And then he got an assist. Also, but
he scored and got an assist and no hits.
Nice.
Like, come on.
That's unexpected offense.
It's just not expected. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Come on, Bell. We're rooting for you. You got 3.5 on the assist.
Remnant is saying that it is Revenant Oak, the single malt.
Okay, Revenant Oak. I'm going to write that down.
I don't do scotches, so I don't know about it.
And I like to try out, I've tried malts from a number of countries, not just Scottish ones. I like to try them. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to stop sharing that screen and we'll go back to one of the other screens. God knows which one.
Let's see if the other one's working yet, the chat screen. Haha.
Yeah. And then we'll show some clips.
Something and let us know that the chat is actually working.
You're to pick McDavid, indeed, Lizard King. It's me. I'm cursed.
I think it's just not using the right settings on the.
I chatted something.
There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we have clips, though. We do have clips. Have you got some? I've got some. I just got to figure out how to play the damn things.
Well, are they Twitter clips?
They are.
Then, yeah, go to your share screen presentation.
Let me do that then.
Add them to that share screen box, and
we are going to try this. And I don't know if I'm going to get the volume on it, although I haven't messed with it since last week. Tell you what, we'll do a test. Can you hear that?
I hear nothing.
Anything? You hear nothing. I hear nothing.
But you don't have it on screen either, so not on. You haven't transitioned, so.
Oh, now we're getting.
So, are you sharing a tab or are you sharing?
I'm sharing a tab on my browser. You hear anything?
Nope.
Right. I know how to fix it.
Okay.
So while I'm fixing that.
While he's fixing that, I'll take his desktop off the screen.
Technical issues. Technical issues. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Keep talking. Peter
All right.
Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
James Duty Dents.
James Duty Dench. James Duty Dench. Duty Dench.
Mad's mouth warm up. Oh, by the way, Little Chad, Slender Dad, me, and Mad did a movie last night for What the Flick. So he's getting it ready and edited. So everybody watched for Mad's channel in the next few days. We should have a new video coming out. It'll be interesting because it was a truly horrible movie.
Oh,
Twin Dragon Encounter.
Oh, geez.
It's a Canadian movie from one of the French areas.
Do
you know of Martin and Michael McNamara, the two greatest martial artists in Canadian history?
I have heard the names, but I'm not sure I've ever seen anything. They don't sound French to me, though.
No, they don't. But they're definitely in probably Quebec.
Yeah. Right. Well, Quebec, yes. Well, they make There's a whole industry of crappy movies up here.
Yes.
Can you hear anything when I do this?
Yes.
Right.
We hear it.
Right. I'll go back to the start on this one then. So this is Keep Your Head Up is what this was entitled. This is Jacob, the wonderfully named Jacob Bernard Docker, or Bernard Docker. hitting on Villano of the Wings. And I don't mean in a sexual sense.
Now we have no sound. There.
Shoulder down.
Boom.
Yep.
Nice hit.
Open eyes hit.
We'll do it again.
Boy, he looks like a little
beautiful hit. Yep.
He looks like a little kid.
Oof. Do you think he did hit? He did take a bit of the head there.
Yeah, but his shoulder was down. He wasn't aiming for the head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't help if somebody looks down. If you're fully targeting the chest, I mean, he's not targeting the head. There's a difference between targeting the head and incidental head contact when you're putting a good shoulder into their shoulder or the chest.
Yeah, but
we don't need it to get as wussy as freaking NFL, where everything is a penalty.
So your Muslim uncle's asking, is there an episode or part of the episode that would be good for my question as a super chat? I'm not sure I'm with you, buddy. Are you saying, is there a part of this show that is perfect for a super chat? If that is the question, then the answer is all of it. But if it's
are you referring to your question right above it, your Muslim uncle? Because we can just talk about that.
Is McDavid injured, or is it just a thing that every hockey player goes through?
The whole team's falling apart. They just suck right now.
Yeah, he was injured briefly, and he may still will be a little bit below par, but I think it's just that it's the team. Yeah, it's the team.
They're just not playing good hockey.
Yeah, really poor.
And I don't think they've got any depth.
They don't. They do not have any depth. When Kane is your best player, you know you're in trouble. That's actually so this is actually
Evander.
Yeah, Vander Kane.
The bad boy of hockey.
That's right, yes. So this is this incredible batted goal. And I just gotta pause this.
Your DMs are showing as well.
Oh yeah. There's no porn in there, so I'm okay. Right, so Tim, did you see this? Tim Stutzel of the goalie batted in from midair against the Wings?
Yes, I did see that one.
This is incredible. I mean, I've got a couple of views of this, I think. This is one of the views.
Ding.
Anyone for tennis? That is the most incredible. It's so neat.
Trying to catch it. Did he flip it up to him? Did he flip it up in the air himself and then bat it? Is that? Or
we'll see it here.
It wasn't passed to him in the air.
So we'll see it in this from this angle, the standard angle, as it were.
Yeah.
No, didn't flip it up. He takes it straight out of the air.
So it deflected to him.
And it was in overtime. How sweet is that?
That's nice. That's some good stuff.
It is. Let me see if they're going to show that again. Here we go.
A fun game. Time is dying, and Phil Larkin had dropped this stick, so he abandoned the zone.
Bingo.
One swing. Walk-off is what it is for Tim Stutzel.
Nice pass.
Yep.
And he does. Waist high, chokes down on the
Can't argue with that. That's a beauty. Stutzel's playing well as well this year. I think I've got him in one of my teams. Not sure which one. I'm looking over there.
Trying to figure out which fantasy league you've got him.
Which fantasy league I've got him in, yeah. That was pretty neat. I really like that. Sweet goal.
Yeah, that's two pretty nice goals. I've got one from today that
you almost sounded like Christopher Walken when you said that. From today.
From today.
You want to show it now?
Yeah, we'll show it. This was a controversial call from today in the Ducks game. So I'm not sure if it's got the audio going or not. Let me See if I can get that. Let's see. I've got to share the system audio, I think. So, yeah, is this a goal or not?
Right there.
I got to put this in studio mode so I can see it.
We'll let it replay.
Just to get to that puck, John, and a quick move. And the other thing that helps him, look at the pucks up on edge.
Yeah.
See, that makes all the difference in the world. If that puck sits flat,
I couldn't tell from there.
That puck's over the line.
So the call was no goal after the review. The thing is, when he scoops it onto its edge into the goalie's pad, it's clearly across the line. If it was laying flat, it wouldn't have been. But since he flips it up on its edge, it is absolutely over the line. So the Ducks got screwed on this call.
And there's no
right here. It's not in there, but then when he jams it against it vertically instead of laying down, it's definitely across the line.
Maybe it's not all. That puck's over the
Now, there's no way. I mean, there's no review of that by the officials because it's called not a goal on the ice, and that's it. Moves on.
No, they can review and see if it went in. Kind of like when you have those goals that it goes in and out so fast that it looks like it just bounced off the post. Those are no goals on the ice, but you can go review if it actually did go in. So they did review it and said no goal.
God, they got screwed. They got screwed hard.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, poor bastards. Hey, shit happens.
It's the Ducks.
It's the Ducks. Well, speaking of the Ducks, a former Ducks favourite is that I thought I'd forgotten was still alive. Played for the Stars for a little while too. Corey Perry. Still going. Yeah. So we're going to show Corey Perry, not Connor Bedard. Scoring for Chicago. He's in Chicago now. Yeah, he did. I think he was with Toronto for a while, but he's Corey Perry, who everybody hates, and I used to hate, but now then I grew to love him in his one brief year with the Stars. So, what's most impressive about this is that he actually manages to get up the ice in time to score this because he's like 900 years old.
Dickinson comes over to help out.
And Dickinson
free, the headman. Kucherov tried the one-timer. Chicago looks to counter.
So Dickinson is mentioned in this. Jason Dickinson, former Stars player too.
Dickinson comes over to help out. Worked free, the headman. Kucherov tried the one-timer. Chicago looks to counter and break. Corey Perry has got some help. Trying to swing it across. In front side of the net. Tic-tac-toe. And it's Corey Perry who finishes off a
well played, Corey.
Chicago setup. And the Blackhawks have tied the game at 2.
So there's life in the old dog yet. One of the most hated players by other teams, but when he plays for your team, you're like, yes. And he seems to score a lot against Tampa Bay over the years. So, well played, Corey. I mean, he wasn't in that list of 5 oldest active players in the NHL, and yet he must be getting up there. Right.
This one's a new drill for sorry, I had muted myself accidentally. This is a new drill that coaches are implementing in hockey now, so it's kind of an interesting one.
Finland.
Pelicans rougher than ever.
Oh, those are great, yeah. That's the guy
one more time, or
he's toughening up his team. Yeah.
He just runs directly into the Zamboni.
Yeah, actually,
that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It's probably a good excuse to actually play another. I'm going to have to play this over the top of something, but let's play another commercial then. If we'll play it. It's time for commercials, isn't it? So.
Come on. Put it in the zone. Yeah, put it in the.
It's pretty low as it is.
Oh, I guess it's either on or off, huh? There.
This is the fans that wish they were in the NHL.
Make it in the NHL.
Yeah, there's a whole series of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, the volume
I think we've got about 6 of them, don't we?
Yeah, the volume immediately goes to excessive in that one.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's nice. Let's have a vintage goal, shall we? Have some vintage.
Sure.
Jaromir Jagr, the old man of still playing wherever he is. Czechoslovakia is still playing. This is vintage Jagr.
So here comes Jagr again. Backing Rozon's going to be on the right. Jagr goes coast to coast.
We're not seeing it. We're still seeing your video.
You don't need to see
here
it.
Comes Jagr again.
You got to get rid of the commercial. There you go.
You know, you guys are so picky. You don't need to see it. I was enjoying that.
We're just looking at a scrambled picture.
I actually like what Smokey said. Corey Perry, Mr. Three-peat at losing cup finals. Unfortunately, one of those was with the Stars. But, so let's look at the old man. Well, he wasn't old then. Jaromir Jagr at his finest.
And so here comes Jagr again.
Look at the hands.
Backing Rozon's going to be on the right. Jagr goes coast to coast and a goal. He shoots and scores. And so here comes Jagr again.
That man had the hands and the hair.
Yes. He was fantastic. You know, he's still not eligible for the Hall of Fame. There were arguments about this week because this was Hall of Fame week, and actually, former Avs GM Pierre Lacroix went into the Hall of Fame this week. He was the guy who he was the guy who was hired when they came to Colorado, put together the 95-96 Stanley Cup team, and of course, he was our GM for about 15 years. But Jagr, since he is still playing in what is considered professional leagues over on the other side of the ocean, he is not eligible for the Hall of Fame still. From the day he stops playing, it'll still be 3 years before he's allowed in. Gretzky was the last player that they voted for immediate entry into the Hall of Fame.
Jagr will be 60 before he's in the Hall of Fame then. Yeah.
Well, he's 54 or 55 right now.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a game for that team this year, but he goes to every practice and he's watching from the upper booth, and he can join the team at any time he chooses if he feels like it. I mean, he is the owner of the team. He can do whatever he kind of wants. But so right now, the clock would start ticking for 3 years from whenever the last game was that he played for that team. But if he plays one game this year, the clock starts over again.
And there's every chance he might. Yeah, it's insane.
And you know he's not coming back to play in the NHL at 54 or 55 years old. So it's kind of ridiculous.
There's very few players like Gretzky would deserve immediate entry, and I think he's one of them.
Yeah. Jagr, technically, between all the pro leagues that Jagr has played in, he has more points than anybody in hockey, I believe. Yeah. I think we covered that last year when he scored either an assist or a goal that made him the highest scoring pro player of all time, just not NHL player. So
what a man. Yeah, incredible.
Yep.
Great hair.
And I think if I remember the lore correctly, Jagr scored in the game that Gretzky retired in, and Jagr, his goal was sent Gretzky off the ice for his very last game as a loser, because in overtime Jagr put in a goal that was took the lead 5-4 in overtime. So
I don't recall he's got
some. Yeah, it's there's some interesting lore there. How about a vintage fight?
Let's have a vintage fight.
Let's do a vintage fight.
I think I'm having a bit of a problem in the YouTube.
Tiger Williams versus Big Ben.
Oh.
Now he's starting to throw the punches. Tiger Williams is getting some very good punches in on Ben Wilson.
Those are big.
Yeah.
He's got a long reach.
Excellent uppercuts on Ben Wilson. Wilson could not get his right arm free.
This fight was nicknamed the Tiger versus Big Ben.
Wilson finally got his arm loose and started to punch overhand right to Tiger Williams' side of his head.
Oh, he's not done yet.
Nope.
That Pavelic he's getting headbutted.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to care.
He doesn't know.
They had him completely tied up, but Williams was able to get that one hand free.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's unfair. Let them fight.
So 54 seconds into the game.
Well, it's unfair when you're holding the arms of one guy and the other guy's heart.
The guy's disabled. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Oh, that was a beauty. Look at those.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're feeling that one.
That was a pretty good little tilt there. And actually pretty good video quality for
not
some
bad for its era,
yeah.
So let's see. This is a totally different. This is Bobrovsky doing the thing that we know a lot of players do, just being nice to the fans. He's just sitting there minding his own business. And he's in San Jose, I think. But there's a Florida fan kid in the crowd with his jersey on. He hands him something, so he just.
We mentioned that a unique position where the backup goalie has to sit in San Jose. Well, there's access to the fans. How about the in-game?
I'm used to dynamic.
We mentioned that a unique position where the backup goalie has to sit in San Jose. Well, there's access to the fans. How about the in-game autograph from Bob, from a kid with the Bob sweater on? That's pretty cool. It's like it's a brick wall in Russian, maybe.
He's got a brick wall thing.
It's right there. That smile on that for that kid. What a thrill for him.
Really cool.
Access. And Bob's right, as
it's
you
nice,
mentioned, very close to his.
But what I liked was the fact that the kid, it's hard to see it, but the card he's got is a brick wall.
Yeah.
And it's got Bobrovsky in it, and he signed it for. That's really nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So we see a couple of shitty things happening, but most of the players are really good with the fans.
Yes, I think most of them are great with the fans. So it's just with some other players occasionally they're not that great.
Right. No.
This one we've got. Another big hit, semi-questionable, maybe. Jacob Trouba on Thomas Nosek. And yeah. It's a big one. I don't think there's any issue with this. He's looking straight down. I mean,
the player's
you
looking
keep your head
down.
up. Yeah. It's shoulder to shoulder, but
shoulder hit his head.
Nosek's got his head so far down.
Yeah, he's looking straight down. You're supposed to keep your head up.
And Trouba's a big guy.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid hit right there.
Yeah, it's not.
Bent over. And so
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no shoulder.
Did it get called?
I mean, it is shoulder to head, but it is not. Shoulder to head that would get you in trouble.
Was it a penalty? Did they call
I don't think so, but he went straight off the ice, straight to the locker room.
Yeah, it's just he was. I mean, not often you see guys hunched over that far, and he was well over. Yeah, his head was well down.
Yeah. And then I've got one that's not so questionable. This one was a 5-minute major and a misconduct for Chandler Stevenson hitting Garnet Hathaway.
Garnet Hathaway sounds like a guy from Gone with the Wind to me. Garnet Hathaway from Atlanta.
From Atlanta.
Well, I do declare, Garnet.
Laid it there. The net knocked off its moorings. The fire is down. That was Stevenson with a strong left to Hathaway.
Oh.
He crushed him.
He's more like Anne Hathaway after that.
Is Stevenson.
Hathaway's in some trouble.
His head is lying on the ice back there.
He's still desperate to get some blood out there.
Oh, yeah. He's trying.
It was a 5-minute cross-check penalty, and it happens on the far side.
Here comes Stevenson. Boom.
Oh, yeah. Cross-check to the head.
Straight to the chin.
I mean, it kind of looks like, well, let's see if the stick gets up. And if it does,
the stick definitely gets up.
Oh yeah, that's
it may be across the shoulder, but I think that right hand is under the chin.
Well, they're going to review it.
So 5-minute major and a
5-minute
misconduct.
major and a misconduct. Yep.
The problem with a game misconduct is, and it happened in one of the Stars games a couple of games ago, that the other team, Thomas Harley, our defender, was boarded, broke his nose.
Yeah.
And that's him out for, he's going to be out for a while. And yeah, the guy that did it got a game misconduct. Well, that's one game. Harley's going to be out for ages. It was boarding.
Yeah.
Could have killed him. Like jammed his head that level right into the boards, the top of the boards.
Yeah, and oftentimes they'll consider that like a 1-game suspension already took place.
Yeah.
So unless it's really egregious, they'll just say, "Yep, well, you missed a game. Move on."
Yeah, there was no supplemental.
They'll fine him instead of suspending.
Yeah, there was no supplemental, and it was a little bit like, come on. Hang on, I gotta pause this. So
you also have to transition it.
No, well, I'll do that when I'm ready.
Okay.
Don't be so. Just relax.
You keep describing it and then clicking play before you transition. So I thought I'd remind you on the front end.
So this was entitled something like "What the hell kind of angle is this?" This is on EA, whatever. This is an angle they're showing now apparently on sports.
The direct overhead.
Yeah. Oh.
So this is just a video game, right?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. EA Sports NHL. New camera angle, like, ugh.
Why would you want that angle? You can't see anything around.
Well, it's totally the guy. It's like the guy's on an island that's skating there. He's
like,
you don't know where he is, what he's doing.
It's a horrible angle.
Kind of, yeah. I hate this. People saying this is terrible. I died of vertigo.
I hate that Avalanche has gone back to 90s Fox stuff on their broadcast. They have the trailing black streak on the puck again.
Oh, I hate that.
Even at the arena, Ryan, on the big board, they have a trailing streak on the puck. And it's like, why? Especially if you're there watching the game, you should probably know how to follow the puck slightly.
I think so, yeah.
Not that much to ask.
Right. I'm going to open this soju. My first ever soju.
I've got one last clip, but
I got a couple of old ones. But apparently, when you in Korea, if you're drinking this stuff, and the Koreans drink a lot of this is the most popular drink in the world. Apparently, you got to hit the bottom of the bottle first, and then when you open it, you're supposed to hit the top. I'm not going to do that because it'll go everywhere. But you go like this, tradition. So,
okay.
TZ Burton's here.
Since I got my replacement, I am going to have that one last little section of the Henry McKenna tenure. This one was barreled on 8/12 of 2011. Barrel number 11,213. And the new barrel was barreled on 10/17 of 2012 and was barrel number 14,046.
Very nice.
So these are 3,000 barrels apart.
Yeah, this one was never barreled and was probably just made last week. So my first ever soju.
Yeah, Lizard King, that's what I'm talking about, the glowing puck. I mean, that's what they're doing on our local broadcast now.
So annyeonghaseyo
and that's the
to all you Koreans out there.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now, this is the strawberry flavored one. It's a fruit-based drink for the ladies.
Yes, for the ladies. So you feed it to the sheep, eh?
Oh, they love it. Just put it in the sheep dip. They'll never know. I soju them. This is pretty good. It's only 17% alcohol, so it's pretty light. That's why in Korean shows they drink about 8 of these before they get hammered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Very nice.
Every now and then I'll, take my 2 weeks off of bourbon and just drink, a few regular beers, and those things do nothing to me at this point.
No.
5% alcohol versus drinking 50 to 60% alcohol. Beer is like water.
Yeah. So Lizard King saying, remember,
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad, but
it's a bad thing. That is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Remember the Fox glowing puck?
Yeah.
I don't think. But
it used to have like a comet tail on it on the broadcast.
Jesus.
And it's horrible. So, all right.
Right, what we got?
This is one of the rarest things in hockey. We'll see if you guys can spot it.
It's a Dallas Stars win.
Well, that is rare.
Up down by Nedeljkovic. Bussy to the bench. Nedeljkovic shoots at the empty net.
Goalie goal!
Oh, Alex Nedeljkovic!
Not only that, it's his second goalie goal in the AHL.
Baranacci at center, dumps it deep.
It's not often you can see that.
Bussy to the bench. Nedeljkovic shoots at the empty
net. The goalie
net.
was still getting off the ice when he shot it. So his team hadn't even set up with the extra skater yet. So
with his second career
incredible.
AHL.
Pretty cool though. Goalie goals are always fun.
Very cool. Imagine that, being able to say, I got 2 goals.
That's what I was hoping tonight, that Georgiev was going to get a chance to do that, just so that I could really rub it in on you when you guys went empty net.
You should have.
That would have made my night.
Yeah, well, you bastard.
Yeah.
So let's.
Well, we've got our little rivalry going.
We do. I know.
Avs and Dallas.
Revenge will be ours. Let's see. Let's see if I can figure out something else to play here.
Okay.
Right. I'll put it on the screen. Don't worry. Just working it out.
I'll allow it.
That's your screen share. It's my screen share.
This is out of my scenes.
Indeed, get out of my scenes. This is This is WHA Oilers. Don Smokey McLeod. I don't know this guy. Oilers goalie. I don't think there's any audio in this. I'm just going to pause it and then just setting the scene, and then I'll transition. So he obviously didn't need anyone to take care of his business for him. He just gets stuck in. And to be fair,
look how skinny the pads are, though, for the goalies.
I know. To be perfectly fair, the other player hit him first. He loses the gloves pretty quick there. So I didn't know Don Smokey McLeod, but he seemed like he could handle himself. We may well have watched this one before, but we'll do it again. It's Bob Probert, who seems to pop up on these a lot. Let me just tee this up.
Nose to nose. There they go. There they go. These two have never fought before. Ooh, geez. Remedy. Good Lord.
We've probably showed it before, but what the hell?
Well, there's been quite a few shows. Most of the people probably haven't seen stuff from last year.
And when Bob Probert, it's hard to tell because he had so many fights.
Night, Tim Stock.
Cheers, Tim.
There's the jersey off. Now he's got everything off. Probert's got it all off. And these two boys can hurt if they happen to hit. You see a little extra determination on Probert.
Oh, that was a nice one.
And I think he just clocked the ref a little bit,
he
too.
That was from November 14th, 1991.
Night, little Chad. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, I gotta stop this one because I'm getting the stink eye from YouTube.
We're getting the warnings?
Yeah.
Then it's time to go to another commercial, I guess.
It is. Commercial me.
Oh, I need to commercial you? Let me find one.
Oh, no, I'll do it then. No, just you wait.
No, I've got some.
You got one?
Sure. Let's do this.
Oh.
Hey, Alex, why is Backstrom on your life insurance policy?
We're a duo.
A duo?
Yeah, if something happened to me, who is Becky going past the puck to? His power play points might drop. How he will get his assist? What then?
Yeah, what then?
And why is he always here for breakfast?
I love that one. I love that one.
He's so good at these.
The picture of them together with the
It's
assist
bigger
puck
than the
is
wedding
bigger than the
picture.
wedding picture.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great.
Great one.
How long do we need to cool down?
Yeah,
I never pay attention to my YouTube studio, so
yeah.
I don't
And
care. I'm not monetized.
At this point, I don't care if they close us down. So let's do another one of these. Oh yeah, this was players getting dolled. Players getting dolled up for the NHL being in high definition. So let me see if I can get this on the screen.
Yep, I know this one.
Yeah.
NHL Center Ice gives you up to 40 out-of-market NHL games a week all season
They all
long.
get dolled up.
And now, with so
Roberto
many of them in
Luongo.
spectacular HD, every NHL
Martin
player
St.
wants
Louis.
to make sure he's going to
Joe
look his
Thornton with no
absolute
beard.
best.
I know, incredible, isn't it?
These pants make my butt look big.
To order NHL Center Ice, contact your local cable or satellite provider or log on to NHL.com. You know, these guys are ready for their close-up.
Again, was plucking his eyebrows.
I mean, is there? Yeah, Joe Thornton with no beard. That's incredible.
Yeah, that just looks weird.
It's nice but weird.
The size of his beard, that has to have been half a decade ago, at least.
Yeah.
I do have one more big hit with a fight.
Well,
we get a little of both.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Hit coming up right there. Beautiful.
Boom.
Shoulder to chest.
Ooh.
Couldn't get better than
Great
that.
hit. No problem there.
Kolasar on the
We're
ice,
still
he's
going to
probably
take
gonna have
exception.
to answer. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. Right away, Kolasar right over to McElrath, and McElrath knew it was coming. They looked at each other right there. He gave him the first shot, and the mittens are off. The Caps haven't fought a whole lot this year, but McElrath, when in doubt, he's going to drop the mitts.
He's playing the Beastie Boys in the
Kolasar
background.
late in this fight.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's okay.
I wasn't even paying attention.
You can't hear it enough for it to be a problem.
This fight here, there's the right that
Yeah.
stung.
But you're gonna fight for the right to party.
Coming up right there.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's a great hit.
Great hit. Yeah.
Love
I mean,
it.
that's players policing players. I mean, it was a
Love
great hit, but you're still going to answer the bell.
Well, of course. Everyone loves that. So I got
Yeah, I
couple
dug back a
more.
little bit further into the bookmarks, and apparently I had mixed in a couple memes amongst the hockey ones. So I thought I was done, but I still had a couple more. So
Well,
you've still got a
speaking-
couple more too, right?
I do. I got a couple more things we'll show. Speaking of memes, this is one of my favorites by Gumby Spawn of us. It's us in Cheap Trick. So Gumby Spawn, who's obviously does some fantastic stuff. This is I had it bookmarked for ages. This is one of my favorites.
Very nice.
And I do like the fact that I get to be the good-looking one, Robin Zander, and you get to be the weird-looking one.
The weird one in the background.
Yeah, not Buddy Nelson, Rick Nielsen. Then there was another one that went along with it, which was this one, of course. But,
Chuck Norris.
But speaking of Chuck Norris, there is the...
Which that actually looks like a mix of you and Ruben Christopher Haynes and Chuck Norris.
It does, doesn't it? I had another one here. Oh yeah, this ties in to this fight, which had been entitled Chuck Norris Division because the fight was so good. Which I thought was cute. Chuck Norris Division. This is John Cordick and Basil McRae on 11/12. So back in November '89, it started again. Good North Stars there.
McIntyre will draw the next penalty of the hockey game at 15:34. Here's a fight breaking out. Cordick and McRae. McRae and Cordick. McRae and Cordick are throwing lefts toe to toe. Cordick misses, now gets in about three. Cordick throwing a flurry of lefts. McRae moving in, tying him up. Now McRae throws his left. There goes Cordick's helmet. Now a right by McRae. Another right. A left by McRae. A a left by each of them. Now a flurry of lefts. McRae, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they tie up. McRae and Cordick. There's McRae with a right. Another right by McRae. McRae and Cordick. In the circle, the
If only these guys could really punch somebody would get hurt.
Right.
Now they lock up. The linesman have not moved. And now Cordick.
Put them out of their misery.
Right from McRae. Cordick back with a left. Now a left by McRae. Oh, they're tired. Now they're really
Tired. They're absolutely done. Stop me, please.
They're completely wiped out.
Somebody stop me. So a rare Nordiques North Star clip. Which is pretty in the Chuck Norris division.
Teams. Sometimes we miss things that happen at the beginning of the week. Here is one that I think kind of sums up Edmonton's season. But yeah, this should probably have been. I can't remember if he got fined. I know he didn't get suspended, but a little bit of a dirty play by Draisaitl here.
Oh, very dirty.
The cross check to the knee.
Cross check to the back of the knee.
The back of the knee.
Not a move you see very often.
No, pretty dirty.
It is pretty damn dirty. There's a reason a lot of people want the Oilers to lose games, you know.
Yeah, that one happened 5 days ago. So, yeah, so sometimes we get heavy loaded on the back end of the week.
We do,
and don't always get the stuff from the front of the week. But yeah, that happened against the Islanders, and I think a lot of people were calling for that to be at least a fine. Yeah, I'd have to look and see if he was actually fined. I mean, he didn't miss any games. I know that because he's on my team. But
that's pretty rotten.
No, he's not. No, I didn't get Draisaitl. I got Pasta.
Yeah, you can't even disguise that. Like you can't say, "Well, I slipped," or "It was a mistake," or "an accident."
No, that's intentionally directing it straight to the lower body. Yeah. I mean, you could say you missed his lower back and swept lower, but even then, it's still a cross check.
Yeah, so, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Yeah.
That's frustration on Edmonton's behalf. I mean, they're getting extremely frustrated. And the other thing that happened we didn't talk about, they lost a coach. We were calling it last week.
Yeah.
How long is he going to last? And he's gone. He's out of there.
Yeah, and
then of course McDavid said he never lost the room, and it's like he lost a lot because you guys aren't playing like a hockey team at all.
Funnily enough, the guy that gets hired happened to be McDavid's former coach and
his junior hockey coach, I believe, right?
Which was the only other contender, I believe, for the job was McDavid's mother, who makes really good cheese toasties, and he liked that, and that would have made him feel happier. So his mother was in the running, McDavid's mother, but they went for this guy.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they had that on the back burner ready to go because there's no chance in hell that they were interviewing anybody else. He's gone, he's in.
Yep.
And it's not even an interim thing. He's in.
He's in.
Isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, and they won a couple of games, but then they lost him. They've lost him. So.
Yeah, but that tells you that he had lost a room, because if a new coach comes in and suddenly you start winning, that means the coach was part of the issue. Players just weren't playing for them.
Yeah, whether he'd lost the room or not is an open question. He certainly had lost McDavid and Draisaitl.
Well, McDavid's the one saying he never lost the room, but yeah,
he lost me. You should just
results say otherwise.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how much you saw of it, but on Twitter, particularly in Canada, McDavid was getting mercilessly mocked. The Oilers were mercilessly mocked for this. Why don't they just
the coaching change or just for this?
No, just start? Everything. Why don't they just and the coaching change? Why don't they just appoint McDavid as? So there was fake tweets
as player coach.
Yeah, McDavid, the youngest ever GM, coach, player, blah blah blah. He had every title. It wouldn't
work because he would just give himself another raise and still not go out and sign anybody to give them any support.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be the greatest player in the world, but if you don't have the rest of the team, you're not going to win anything.
There's not enough depth there. It just isn't there. And now Skinner's playing okay. ish as their goalie, but who else have they got? I mean, their goalies, they're pretty light on the goalie front. So
yes.
So another Gumby Spawn classic. Canadian Fight Club.
Canadian Fight Club. Is that Canadian Mist down at the bottom?
It's Canadian Club. Yeah, the
Canadian
actual drink.
Club.
Yeah, Canadian Fight Club.
We don't talk about that. Hey, at least I'm the real one.
You are. Hey, I've
this
always
MFer
been
up
fake.
here isn't real.
I've always been fake. I like the reply that I sent to him, though, which is this. You freaking hoser.
You freaking hoser. Okay, Gumby. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you freaking hoser.
Give your balls a tug.
That's right. So I think I get one more.
And then we're at the hour and a half, and it's about time to shut her down.
Shut her down. So I'll keep this on screen while I'm painstakingly setting it up. So Gino, I never pronounced this name properly. Gino Ojic set a Canucks team record on the 12th of November, 92, with 47 PIMs in a game. Like 47.
That's hard to do. Yeah.
It's not easy to do.
That means there's only 13 minutes that the other team wasn't on power play.
I just love this.
Possibly. I mean, there may have been some matchings.
Yeah, but thanks to Hockey Fight History for this. They've got some great stuff on Twitter. As Vancouver lost 7-4 to the Kings in LA. So 47 PIMs just staggers the mind.
We get a difference of opinion between Dave Taylor and the Canucks' Dixon Ward, the rookie out of North Dakota.
Now, I'm assuming the 47 minutes weren't all just from this, right? Or
well,
were they?
I don't know. They were implying that Gino himself had 47 minutes, which has got to be pretty hard. So it must have, he must have been the one that took it over the 47 minutes.
Or he just kept going from fight to fight to fight and throwing extra punches while the other guys were already clutching.
It could be, yeah. But, he's fighting the ref.
Hit a ref. That'll do it.
He's fighting the ref. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. He's reading the right on. He's pointing back. Don't.
I'm coming at you next.
Don't you point that bloody finger at me.
Oh, that reminds me. I think I've got a line brawl.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
This is a wild and crazy game. I didn't even know the Canucks and Kings hated each other this much.
Sometimes it's just that game. Oops, sorry
Off he goes. Off he goes. He's left it all behind on the ice. You know, they say he left everything on the ice. He literally did.
On the ice.
It's a fun one, but 47 PIMs in a game. Let me stop that.
So this one, the caption on it is, should be a pretty fun game tomorrow. It's the Rangers and the Devils. There's no way this could have happened this season, but it is fairly new footage. I mean, because of the quality of the footage. I'm not sure when this happened, but this is what went down.
They're already talking, Jansen and Cross. They're talking. We're going to have action right off the start. And Tortorella was screaming and yelling, eyeballing the board.
Yeah, Torts is there, so it's a little while ago.
Yeah, because he's Columbus now or wherever the hell he is.
They're talking about how many camera angles they've got.
We have a lot of cameras and we're going to need them.
We're going to need them. You just don't get much of this now, do you?
Well, you can't. You get suspended automatically if you start a second fight. Only one pair is allowed to fight at a time. So line brawls are a thing of the past unless you want a suspension.
I think it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, This was fantastic.
Everyone loves
listen
line
to the
brawls.
crowd. Everybody's into it.
Everyone loves line brawls. Yeah.
The announcer's into it. Everybody sitting at home is into it. There's nothing better than a full line brawl.
It's like
especially at the puck drop.
This is like Rome with the Colosseum in Rome and the gladiators.
Everybody's cut and bleeding.
Jansen's got Crust's helmet off. This is the last fight going now. Crust and Jansen both in great shape.
They're the last man standing.
The crowd is standing, and these guys have to be tired, but there is adrenaline rush, and the linesmen separate them.
See, everyone in the crowd is loving it. Doesn't matter who you support.
Yeah, and it's literally the opening face-off. This is bad blood from the game before.
Yeah, there was some good punches getting in there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that speeded up, though, yeah.
I don't know if it is.
Well, maybe not. It looked like it was a little speeded up.
That was where Carter got
If any
cut.
of this was fixed, and if any of it was false, I'd have been in more of them. They are for real. The hits register. And there will probably not be a power play to start the game.
There will probably not be a power play to start the game.
There's a reason for that.
Give the instigator.
There's a reason for that. There's no players left that are not in.
Yeah, but everybody instigated at the same time. There was,
yeah. So no power play.
Everything just cancels it out.
Yeah,
you just start the game as if nothing happened.
I think an example of just what a great game it is. Well, it used to be. It still is a great game. But
it still is, but some things that are missing like that. I mean, it's a shame that things like that disappear from the game because,
I know.
Yeah, CTE and all that stuff, but at the same time, I mean, it's a fight. You know, they're doing their thing. Everybody loved it.
Nobody's forcing them. The players did it. They wanted to do it.
Well, some of the players may have felt forced. I mean, there's quite a few players that aren't there to ever throw a punch. But if you've got a line brawl, you don't really get the choice. You're dancing with somebody.
That's where you.
The only thing that was a shame was the goalies did not get going.
No, that's when you have to think. Okay, which player on the other side doesn't want to fight either? The two of us will match up.
Well, and that was a game involving torts, and there have been games where I know of at least one. I can't remember who all was involved, but Torts was one of the coaches, and he was throwing a freaking fit because the other coach started the fourth line. So Torts thought that they were looking to fight, so he put out his fighting line, and then they immediately switched afterwards, and he got all pissed off. But it's like, you know, you would start your fourth line if you're looking to start start the game that way or start a period that way.
Yeah.
So, howdy, Lisa. Good to see you.
Hey, Lisa.
Unfortunately, we're getting pretty close to the end here.
Yeah, good to see you, though, Lisa. Nice to see you. There you go. Oh, we got one chat.
It was Canucks Flame Smokey saying the one with Torts throwing a fit.
Oh yeah, I see that on Rumble. Yeah, Canucks Flames. Yeah, Torts is an interesting guy. Sometimes I've hated him, but sometimes I quite like him because at least he speaks his mind. And,
I mean, the thing with him is he gets a lot out of a lot of players for a very short period of time. That's why he gets moved to a different team about every 2 or 3 years.
That's right. He was overstays his welcome. Yeah.
Well, and he tends to pick on one player and pick them out and be an absolute asshole to them.
Well, I remember. Yeah, I remember when he was. I think it was Blue Jackets coach, and I remember listening to an interview with him or press conference, and somebody said, "Who are you going to play as your center, first line center?" And the next game, he goes, "I don't have any centers. I've got no centers in this team. I got none." And the guys, well, but he goes, "No, I have no centers in this team." So that was it. That was the end of
yeah. That inspires confidence in your team.
Oh yeah, so I was thinking, oh, his team are listening to this, and they're going, "I thought I was a center."
That's what I was signed signed as. I've been told I've been a center for my whole career.
Yeah.
So real quick before we go across the board, what do you guys think of the new layouts, the new streaming setup? Do you like having all the chats on? Do you like, a couple different views, all that kind of stuff? We're trying to make it just a little bit more production value and a little bit more fun. So hopefully it's something you guys are liking out there, because it's different than StreamYard, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Brahma's, for everybody out there, Brahma's put a lot into setting these scenes up and transitions and stuff, and that's why I keep screwing them up, because I'm not used to using this. But
he doesn't have as much practice. We're getting him there.
But we've got different views, like this little. I feel like I'm in the Titanic looking at a porthole on the third class deck. And there was enough room for 2 people on that plank, on that door, that bloody woman.
Yeah, he still claims no, and he even Mythbusters, I think, tried to do a test with the same dimensions, and they said no, they couldn't. But that didn't mean she had to just immediately shove him off into the ocean and say, "Okay, bye."
Yeah, that's right. You're fucked. Off you go.
See you later.
Yes.
I love you. I'll never let go. See ya.
I love you, and I'll miss you for 90 years.
Yeah.
Just wait down there for me. I'll be there eventually. Yeah. But what a bitch. Yeah. It's not like she was that hot in the first place. But
I don't know. I liked Winnie Drew like one of his French girls.
Indeed. A French tickler, in fact. Yeah, so Peter likes the setup. Yeah, it's pretty good. We've got different views and stuff, and I'm sure we'll keep tweaking it, or Brahma will.
Different transitions and stuff.
Transitions and stuff.
Brian likes this bubbly thing that rises from the bottom. I like flipping out and flipping forward.
We got fancy titles. Yeah.
Actually, I think Belle said backstage on one of our shows with comics that she really liked your bubbly transition.
She likes it bubbly. That's true. She likes it a lot.
So what do you got coming up this week?
This week, well, Monday. Well, apart from tomorrow, I'll be like you. I'll be on the shit list, weekly Mead wrap up, whatever they're calling it now. I think we're doing Thanksgiving movies, which is tough for me as a Brit and Canadian, because there's a Canadian Thanksgiving, but it's like, meh,
I didn't submit a list because I can't. There aren't any that I can think of. There's a few that would have been very funny, but I couldn't come up with 5. So I don't know if I'll be on.
I tried to think of some joke ones and I couldn't. It was that difficult. But anyway, I thought of 5 in the end. And so that, and then Culture After Dark, which will be amusing, I'm sure. And on Monday, I am on my channel. I'll be doing, well, basically, I mean, normally I tend to have a theme for the show. This week, I'm not really doing that. I'm doing just some stuff. I want to talk about some stuff that is coming out that is good or looks good and I'm excited about. Same with the panelists. So a positive show, if you will, rather than, hey, we hate this shit, this is terrible. So I'm going to look at stuff like the Shogun, the new version of Shogun, Reacher Season 2, Godzilla -1, Napoleon, the Fall Guy movie. I might even talk about Three Body Problem, although I'm not excited about it because I think it's going to be woke, or at least different, so different. But we're going to have a positive show where we're talking about stuff we like and show some trailers and whatever. So
I think I can't remember if you already watched them or not, but Quinn's Ideas, that channel about Three Body Problem.
Yes.
He just started reviewing the 4th book that is the separate spin-off book. He finally started reviewing that and going deep dive on that. So that may be something that you want to check out. And if anybody else has listened to our talks about the Three Body Problem, they might be interested. So
and when that show comes out,
I thought of
you and I will definitely talk about that show when it comes out. The Netflix, and whether we like it or not, we're going to do some streams on that. Yeah.
So the 3 movies I thought of that I thought would be funny for Thanksgiving, and I couldn't come up with 2 more, was Scent of a Woman, because I don't think people would think of that as a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Addams Family Values, because of the whole camping Thanksgiving
That
thing.
one I counted in mine, yeah.
Okay. And I mean, this is just kind of a preview for tomorrow if I do get on there, and apparently a preview of yours a little bit. But what was the last one I was thinking of? Son-in-Law.
Son-in-Law. Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't think of that one, but yeah.
There's a few... I just can't think of a lot of Thanksgiving movies. I mean, trying to think of something that happens around Thanksgiving. Scent of a Woman, it happens while the family goes off on leave for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Chris O'Donnell comes in and, is taking care of Al Pacino during that time. But yeah. Charlie.
I mean, it's Al Pacino's most scenery chewing performance, I think. Like it's just totally exaggerated. It's never...
Yeah, but really one of the best movies he was ever in. I love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, this is it. What is a Thanksgiving movie? Is it a movie set in Thanksgiving? Is it a movie about Thanksgiving? Or is it just one that happens to feature some scenes that Thanksgiving is in?
Right.
It's a tough
and you
one.
could also look at it as, what did we watch at Thanksgiving? Because I had one uncle that anytime when we were little, anytime we got together at Thanksgiving, we were watching The Last Starfighter and The Dark Crystal, because those were his 2 favorite movies to make sure that all the little kids in the family saw at least once.
Awesome
So
choices.
every Thanksgiving, those would be on. But they're not Thanksgiving movies in any way.
No,
but
but
for
they're
my
great
family,
movies.
Those were the movies that we watched at Thanksgiving.
You
because we had
associate
the one
them.
crazy uncle who forced us to watch those every Thanksgiving.
Well, you associate them with
that he was
Thanksgiving.
around.
Because I don't have a Thanksgiving tradition. I mean, it's not a Scottish holiday.
Well, up until the NFL went insane, the Thanksgiving tradition was to watch the freaking NFL on Thursday.
Yeah.
Eat turkey, fall asleep watching football. But I don't watch the NFL anymore.
Well, exactly. So it's tough. It was tough for me to think about it. I mean, there's even some people will have in their lists, I'm sure, Miracle on 34th Street, which is a Christmas movie, but it starts at Thanksgiving.
In my mind, it's still a Christmas movie. Yeah.
So, hell, I mean,
it'll be interesting.
There's movies that have got Thanksgiving parades in them that you could say were Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah, Tower Heist was the other one I was thinking.
Tower Heist.
It takes place during the Thanksgiving parade. The actual heist does. So maybe I will submit a list. Maybe it'll include those 4 and one other.
I desperately tried to think of a funny one, because usually I try to throw in something funny, like a joke on the theme. Like when it was like Halloween, I said my favorite movies about candy, and John Candy was my number one. I couldn't think of any for this one. I was like, I just can't think of anything funny. I'm sorry. So I've got 5. Though. I got 5.
Well, I've apparently got 4 now, so maybe I'll add a 5th. And
but we all
everybody be quiet. Don't tell Tom that we talked about this on this show.
Yeah. So, but what I would urge everyone. Midnight Edge After Dark. Is it 6 p.m.? 6 p.m., 7 p.m.?
7 p.m. Mountain.
7 Mountain.
I think.
The shit list.
That leads for 2 hours into Culture's show at 9 p.m. typically. And then I think maybe because they made me purchase the game, I will be joining Horny Alf and the Vets Talking guys to do some more Party Animals late night after Culture's stream tomorrow. I don't know. They better invite me back, because I spent $20 on the freaking game, and the game's only good to play with other people and kind of with mics and stuff. So I better not have spent $20 for that one appearance on that show with that stupid game.
Yeah, hope not. Hope not.
No, but that means I'm doing yet another 3 stream night, which I've already done 3 times this week. So
yeah. I've tried to.
I did 3 last night, 3 on Wednesday, 3 tomorrow.
I did nothing on Friday. That was Friday. I'm trying to not do anything.
That's the night that Mad and me and Slender and Little Chad get together to watch our movies to make Mad's videos. Yeah. So we do Little Chad and Slender show us in an art after FNT. Well, after Culture's post-flight. We do that show for about an hour and a half. Then we cut the show, and then we all get together in the backstage and we watch a movie and do all of our crap talking about the movie.
Yeah.
And then last night after the movie, Shags was doing a member stream, and I'm a member and a recurring guest on there. So I was like, okay, it's still early, 1 o'clock in the morning. I guess I'll pop on and, just say hi to the members since I'm a recurring guest on there. Sometimes members like to not just have the host on there, but some of the recurring guests, and get to meet some of them too. And that went for about an hour and a half. And then finally went to bed around 2:30, 3 o'clock. So
I'm not
Tuesday is the only night I go to bed before 2:30.
I'm just tired thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're tiring me.
It's almost midnight here. I'll still be up for another 2.5 hours. I'll go watch the well, I don't know if Zach's is doing the show tonight, but I'll go watch those guys. They do their thing.
Well,
it starts a little bit after us.
I would love to do that because I love Zach's, and hell, I'd love to be on there. I've been on occasionally, but I'm too tired. I got to go to bed right now.
Well, you are 45 years older than I am. So
I am. I'm Methuselah if he was on a pensioner, if he was old.
Yeah.
As opposed to a sprightly young chap, Methuselah.
But in a roundabout way, that's what I've got going on this week too.
Cool.
We've got the same streams tomorrow, then Monday Night Meltdown on Comics Division's channel on Monday.
After my show.
Yeah, and then I'm done. Tuesday. Tuesday's my night off. So
yeah, we'll have to tempt you.
And of course, the Avs play on Monday, Wednesday this week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all 3 days that I have shows every single week. It seems to work out that way.
They do. The bastards. The bloody bastards.
And then I'm distracted watching if you ever see me looking like this on the streams, yeah.
Well, me too. I've got my big TV right over there.
Yeah, I've got my 70-inch TV on the wall over there. I've got my 3 monitors here. So if here I'm looking at chat, here I'm looking at the camera, there I'm looking at whatever clips I'm pulling up. But if I'm looking there, that's watching the Avs on the 70-inch over the top of the monitors here in the garage.
Right. Well, we better call it quits, mate. But that's been awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We really appreciate it. I know there was multiple streams and people have been all in the chats all over. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
And
thank you all for joining.
And we'll be earlier next week, I think.
Earlier, 9:15. We'll figure it out, but it won't be later than 9:15.
No, I think 9:15.
Right. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And it gives people a little bit of a chance to get in there that may otherwise be, like me, old and tired.
Yes. And then we can all go to bed. Well, you all can go to bed earlier. I'll still.
Indeed. But thanks, Peter. Enjoyed you being here. Thanks, Mike, Lisa, Southern Belle. Oh, geez. TZ Burton,
Smokey,
Lizard King.
Tim's Talk, Silvar,
your Muslim
Chad.
uncle. Bunch of great people. If we forget anybody, it's not because I don't forget you because I'm ignoring you. It's because I'm old and I can't remember.
This is true.
Snow Dub, Joe Dog, bunch of people. But Southern Belle, please. We said all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night. Later, everybody.
See ya.